So as you know, in the previous video we had discussed about Hawthorne's infiltration equation or Hawthorne's infiltration curve. From that also we can determine what is the rate of infiltration that is going to happen, but it will precisely give you the quite precisely. Okay, and I can't absolutely vouch for the precision of the Hawthorne's equation, but it try to represents how practically or how in nature this infiltration rate is going to take place. Okay, what will be the infiltration rate? Now there are other two types from which are called as infiltration indices. Okay, from which we can try to estimate the probable infiltration rate. Okay, so what we do is that how infiltration equation or how infiltration curve is generated for any given region. Similarly, the phi index and W index are the two other infiltration indices or infiltration values which can be determined for a particular region, and it can be helped for us to further calculate what is the runoff, which is called as excess rainfall also. Okay, I'll just show you this figure. These are the two figures. This is representing the W index and this is representing the phi index. Phi index is the average infiltration rate. Okay, so average infiltration rate which is considered for any given region. Okay, I'll explain you while solving the problems also. While we'll solve the problem on phi index and W index also, while solving this in the numerical values, numerical problems, I'll try to explain it again, but once I want to explain here also. So what we do is that we'll take the hyetograph. Okay, this is the hyetograph which is represented in the background. Then we'll draw an average rate of infiltration. Okay, we'll draw average rate of infiltration. Now it is like deducting the infiltration from the rainfall. If I deduct the infiltration from the rainfall, whatever this axis value is there, okay, if I calculate what is the area of this, it will give me the some volume. So this volume is representing the surface runoff. Okay, now phi index, you can define a phi index for any given region, and if you define a phi index for any given region, you can easily calculate how much will be the runoff from the hyetograph. For any given duration of rainfall, you can determine what is the hyetograph. Once you determine the hyetograph, what we do is that we'll draw this phi line which is representing the constant rate of infiltration. Okay, so if I deduct this hyetograph by this infiltration, whatever is left over here will represent the excess rainfall or runoff. Excess rainfall is something equivalent to that of surface runoff. Okay, now this is how we can calculate the runoff. This is one of the method. Now here in this, what we have done is that we have considered only precipitation, then we have considered the runoff. Okay, from that we are calculating phi index. Now I told you a method in which I can use the phi index to determine the runoff. Just to make it just changing the same equation, what we can do is that if there is a rainfall which is given by hyetograph, if you deduct the runoff, you will ask me how to determine the runoff. Runoff is basically calculated in the streams. Okay, whatever the discharge that is taking place in any given stream. Okay, we'll calculate how much is the stream runoff. Okay, how much is the flow that is taking place in any given stream. So if I calculate how much is the discharge that is going in that stream, I can calculate how much is the volume of water that has flown because of one particular rainfall period. Okay, or one duration of rainfall. So by that we can calculate the surface runoff. So after determining the rainfall by this hyetograph, by determining the surface runoff, if I deduct PR minus P, which is precipitation minus runoff, divided by the time duration of that rainfall period, will give me the phi index, which is average infiltration rate, or we can also call it as constant rate of infiltration. Okay, so phi index is representing that, so we can calculate that. Now phi index is one of the indices representing the infiltration rate of any given region. Next, there is another term called as W index. Here W index try to inculcate the Hawthorne's infiltration nature. Okay, Hawthorne's, as he says, that the infiltration will not be constant. It will vary. Initially it will be very high, after some duration it will become constant. This is what Hawthorne's gave us. Okay, so based on that procedure we would like to calculate our W index. So here W index is calculated by P minus R. P is representing the precipitation, R is representing the runoff, and IA is representing the initial abstraction. Okay, as you can see in the phi index, I have not considered the initial abstraction because they are not deterministic in nature. Okay, so that's why in W index it has been adapted, or it has been accounted. So P, which is precipitation, minus R, which is runoff, minus initial abstraction, divided by the duration of the rainfall, will give you the W index. So these are the two indices or the constants from which we could be able to define what is the excess rainfall that is happening for any given rainfall period. Okay, so basically W index and phi index are used to calculate the runoff. Okay, once you determine the W index and or phi index for any given region, you can keep on calculating how much is the runoff that is supposed to take place for any given duration of rainfall, or when you know the precipitation and when you know the runoff, you can determine how much will be the rate of infiltration by using these equations, by these indices. Okay, I hope this is very much clear to you. Once we understood this, what we'll do is we'll solve some of the problems. Okay, so this is the first problem we are supposed to solve. Okay, this is the this part is nothing but your calculation part, so don't focus on this part. I'll show you in the Excel sheet also how I determined this. Okay, now here this is an infiltration test using a ring infiltrometer. Okay, you know what is infiltrometer, right? Double ring infiltrometer with 30 centimeter dia yielded the following data. Okay, here it is not double ring infiltrometer, it is single ring infiltrometer. Okay, the diameter of that ring was 30 centimeter, yielded this following data. So in this problem, he has asked us to calculate how much is the average infiltration after first 30 minutes, and he has told us to calculate how much is average infiltration for first 30 minutes, and then he told us to calculate the infiltration capacities at all the time. Okay, anyhow, we are going to solve this in our Excel sheet. I have solved it in an Excel sheet, but you can look into this data. This is the time which is given to you. This is the cumulative volume of water which is getting penetrated into the soil, which is infiltrating into the soil. At time t is equals to 0, your value of infiltration is 0. At time is equals to 2, which is given in terms of minutes. Okay, sorry, I have not written here the value, just write this. Okay, so the time is in terms of minutes, and as we know, we have got the cumulative volume also, how much is the volume of water being collected or infiltrated, right? So these are the values I have. So as I have already read you the question, I hope you all have noted it down. So next thing is that we'll start solving this. Okay, one thing that you have to notice is that I have solved something more than what in the question is being asked. Okay, I'll explain you that what is that extra thing that I have solved other than the question which has been asked. Okay, before that we'll try to get to the solution which was asked in the question. Okay, he has told us to calculate the infiltration capacity, and he has told us to calculate how much is the average infiltration rate for first 10 minutes and average rate of infiltration for first 30 minutes. Okay, so to calculate that, what I need to do is that this was the chart which was given to us. Time was given in terms of minute, cumulative volume was given in terms of centimeter cube. Okay, and I hope you know how much is the value of that infiltrometer. What is the diameter of that infiltrometer, which is 30 centimeter. Okay, so what you need to do is that first we'll calculate how much is cumulative depth. Okay, so I have first calculated the cumulative depth. What I have done, you can also keep on observing this formula bar. Okay, in this formula bar you could be able to understand what is my solution also. Okay, so this is the volume I had, this is the volume of infiltration which has taken place. I need to calculate the depth. For that, what I have done is that I have divided this column by the area of the ring. Okay, the area of ring is pi by 4 into 30 square. This was given in terms of centimeter cube. If I divide it by area, I will get to know how much is the depth of infiltration that has taken place. So for every time duration, for 2, 5, 10 like this, I have calculated how much is the cumulative depth of infiltration. So once I calculate how much is the cumulative depth of infiltration, next thing what I can do is to calculate the infiltration capacity. Now here I calculated the infiltration capacity in terms of centimeter per hour. Okay, as you know, this is value which is given in terms of minute, so I have to calculate infiltration capacity in terms of hour. Okay, now let us look into what is the infiltration capacity at all these time. Okay, at time t is equals to 2, I need to calculate how much is infiltration rate. Now what I'll do is I'll see how much is the cumulative depth. So cumulative depth is 0.393 at 2 minutes, and at 0 minutes it was 0, right? Now what I have done, this is your C3, this cell is representing C3 and this cell is representing C2. So as you can see in this formula bar, so C3 minus C2, I just can double click over here and you can see the formula. Okay, C3 minus C2 divided by the time duration, which is 2 minus 0, which is represented by A3 and A2 cell. Okay, now this will give me what is the infiltration capacity in terms of centimeter per minute, right? So I wanted in terms of hours, so that's why I have multiplied with 60 to it. So from this I had calculated how much will be the infiltration capacity in terms of centimeter per hour. So once I calculate, similarly I can calculate for other time durations also, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, like this I can keep on calculating. So just to give you one more example, what I'll do is I'll double click on this so you can see the cells which I used to calculate the infiltration capacity. So this is the cumulative infiltration that has taken place at time 30. So this cumulative infiltration minus the preceding infiltration cumulative infiltration depth, which is 2.722. so 3.537 minus 2.722 divided by 30 minus 20, which is 10. Okay, so multiplying it by 60, I calculate how much is the infiltration capacity in terms of centimeter per hour. Okay, so once this is done, we can similarly calculate the infiltration capacity for all the time values. Okay, so you can observe few things from here. Till you reach 90 minutes, it was 1.5. Immediately when you go to 150 minutes, the infiltration capacity is 1.019, and at 210 is also 1.019. So you can say that from duration 0 to 150, the rate of infiltration is reducing. Okay, so as the Horton's also said, initially the infiltration will be high, and after some duration, after some point when the voids of soil is completely filled with water, then this rate of infiltration will remain constant, right? So that's why from 0 to 150 minutes the infiltration rate was reducing. After 150 to 210, this infiltration rate was remaining constant. Okay, so this is what you need to observe, right? So we have calculated how much is infiltration capacities. Next thing is to calculate how much is the average infiltration for first 10 minutes. I am calculating here average infiltration, I am not calculating infiltration capacity. So you need to understand what is the difference of this. I am calculating average means what? I'll just click on this, double click on this, I'll get to know how much is the average infiltration rate over here. So to do that, what I have done is I have taken how much is the cumulative depth, okay, the total infiltration depth till you reach 10 minutes. At 10 minutes it was 1.659 centimeter of infiltration. So this value is divided by the time, which will give you the average infiltration. So multiplied by 60 is because I want in terms of centimeter per hour. So the average infiltration for first 10 minutes was 9.957 centimeter per hour. Similarly, for average infiltration for first 30 minutes can be calculated. So I double clicked over this cell. You can see that 3.537 is the cumulative depth of infiltration. This is the total depth of infiltration that has taken for first 30 minutes. So this total depth of rainfall divided by 30 minutes multiplied by 60 will give you the average infiltration for first 30 minutes, which is 7.074. okay, so this much was asked in your question. Okay, now whatever the extra that I have solved is basically to help you understand Houghton's infiltration equation. Okay, so using these data itself, I am going to solve the Houghton equation. Houghton equation, as you know, it gives you the infiltration rate at any given time. Okay, so if you use that equation, you could be able to solve how much is the infiltration rate at any given time. Okay, now as you can see, these graphs are representing you the infiltration capacity curve and also the cumulative infiltration. Okay, there are two lines that are representing. This is your one line which is going in the downward direction, which is representing the infiltration capacity curve. Initially the infiltration is high, rate is high, the infiltration rate is getting reduced over the period of time. Okay, now what is this cumulative infiltration curve? Cumulative infiltration curve is representing these values, infiltration depths. These values are being represented. Okay, I hope you know how I have drawn these two curves. Okay, so y-axis for infiltration capacity curve for this line, we have these values as y, and as usually time will be in terms of minutes, this itself. Okay, now to calculate the cumulative infiltration curve, I use this depth values and I use this as my time. Okay, and on x-axis, and this is your y-axis. So this is how I calculated infiltration capacity curve and cumulative infiltration curve. So once I solved these two, next thing was to calculate what is the Houghton's infiltration equation. Okay, to solve that, what I have done is that I'll just show you these two equations which I had given you in the previous video. Okay, I hope you know these two equations. So what are these? What is this equation? This equation was Ft. Actually, this equation would have been Ft is equals to Fc plus of F0 minus Fc into e raised to minus kT. This was the equation which was given by Houghton's to calculate the rate of infiltration at any given time. Okay, so I told you, I had given you the explanation of how to convert this non-linear curve to linear curve by bringing this Fc to the left hand side. So Ft minus Fc is equals to F0 minus Fc into e raised to minus kT. Now we already know what is the value of Fc. What is the value of Fc? Fc is the constant rate of infiltration, and we do not know what is F0 because we do not know what is the infiltration rate at time t is equals to 0. Okay, so that's the reason why we cannot deterministically say what is F0. Okay, anyway, we know what is Fc, so I have written Fc over here. Okay, Fc is 1.019 centimeter per hour, right? So you know Fc. Now what is the next thing we need to calculate? We need to calculate what is F0 and we need to calculate what is K value for this equation. So if I know what is F0, Fc and K value, I can formulate an equation called this Houghton's infiltration equation. Now let us convert this non-linear equation to linear equation by applying log to this. After applying the log to this, this is what my equation becomes. Okay, now let us make a table which is representing log of Ft minus Fc and time. Okay, you have to remember that all the values of infiltration capacities are in terms of centimeter per hour. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll write another table. This is log of Ft minus Fc. So here Ft is representing the infiltration capacity at time t is equals to 2, 5, 10, 20 like this. Okay, now these are my Ft values. All these are my Ft values. So what is Fc value? Fc value, which you already know, which is 1.019, right? So we can calculate how much is this table. Okay, we can calculate this table. As you can see, log of, you can use log base 10 here. So log base 10 into bracket, if I double click over here, you can see. So this is your infiltration capacity, which is Ft minus of 1.019. 1.019 is representing my Fc. So I have solved what is Ft minus Fc for all the durations. Okay, I have calculated this. Next is I cannot use this time duration. Why I cannot use this time duration? Because our infiltration capacity is in terms of our infiltration capacity is in terms of centimeter per hour. So that's why the duration that I'm going to plot should also be in terms of hours itself. Okay, so that's why what I have done, you can see that I have divided this time values by 60 so that I can calculate the time duration in terms of hour. So this is my y. Okay, I hope you know the linear equation. Y is equals to mx plus c. So your y is the log of ft minus fc, y, and your x is t, which is time duration in terms of hours. So I have plotted those two. Okay, this is the curve I get. Okay, so as you know, this is not representing a linear curve. What I can do is I can draw a best fitting straight line over here. So once you plot these values in a graph chart, okay, now what you need to remember here is whatever I am showing you in an Excel sheet, you have to do it in your graph sheets. Okay, you have to solve all of this in a graph sheet and determine what is k value, and you have to determine fc and f naught value. Okay, I hope you can understand that. Okay, now once I plot these values, log of ft minus fc as y and t as x, we can plot all those points. I can just show you what are those points are. So these are my points which can be plotted from this graph. Okay, so once you draw this, we can draw the best fitting straight line. Okay, you can draw in whichever way you want, and the Excel has given me this as my best fitting straight line. Okay, and this also gives you the equation. In Excel you will get this equation, but in graph you may not be automatically getting this equation. What you need to do is you need to determine these values, right? So once you draw this best fitting straight line, when you determine the slope of this line, it will give you the value of m. This is your m. What is m here? M is minus 0. I hope this is very much clear to you. Okay, m is minus 0.2162. okay, right. So m value is this, and what is your c value? C is 1.4427. okay, now let us try to interpret from this equation. From this equation we can say what is your k value. K value is 0.2162 k value. Okay, I have written here k value as 0.2162. Now similarly, what is your this value representing? 1.4427. It is representing c. C is nothing but log of f naught minus fc, right? So log of f naught minus fc I have written over here, okay, which is 1.4427. So once you calculate log of f naught minus fc, we can calculate f naught minus fc by solving this value, which is equals to 21.71. You can solve it in the calculator and see whether you are getting this value or not. So once I calculate f naught minus fc, you know how to calculate f naught, because we already know what is fc. Fc is how much? 1.019. So I have calculated what is f naught. We already knew what is fc. Fc was 1.019, which was from the values that we determined. F naught is calculated from this chart, or from this graph. Now we also know what is the value of k. K is representing the slope of this line, right? So k is been determined, f naught is determined, fc we already knew. So we can formulate this equation called ft. Ft is equals to fc is 1.019 plus of f naught minus ft, which is 27.71, into e raised to minus k. K is 0.2162 t. Okay, so this is how I have formulated the Horton's equation for this given problem. Okay, though he had not asked you, but in a similar way he can ask you to calculate the Horton's equation also. Okay, right. So if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask me a question. In next video also I am going to solve more problems on infiltration itself. Okay, thank you.